Hello guys, so this is Walter and this is my very first video for this channel. Today we're gonna go drive in San Jose downtown and all the way La Sabana Park as well. So this is pretty much what this channel is gonna be about. We're gonna be traveling in Costa Rica, and if we ever travel somewhere else, we'll do it together. So today, as I said, I want to show you a little bit of San Jose, and we're also going to make a few stops to tell you guys a little bit about the history of some of the most important buildings that we have here in the city. So if you guys are ready, let's go to see how this one looks like. I also want to mention to you guys that if you ever see me talking with confidence about Costa Rica and the history and everything about here, it's because I studied tourism in college. So this is my profession basically. So I really want to share this with you guys here in this channel. So we're going to be, as I said, traveling in Costa Rica, and we're going to see a lot of things about this beautiful country. This country is full of tourism because there's a lot of things to do here. And as we can see, there's tourists all over this place, even on a Sunday like this. So we're gonna see how Costa Rica looks like and learn about the country. All right, guys. So this building that we have right here, it's the Melico Salazar Theater. This is such an important theater, and it was built in 1927. And the reason why we got this one is because we're gonna see that a little later. But there was an important theater that was made in the country for probably the higher class. So as long as that one was pretty expensive, then this one was made for the rest of the people even here. So this theater was built, as many of the buildings that we have here in the city and in the country in general. This was built with the classic style. We call it neoclassic here because the classic style was invented in Rome in a specific period of time. So if we build that style, architecture style, after that period of time, we have to add the word neo, which comes from Latin and means new. So this is a very artistic building. As we can see, this one holds one of the most beautiful columns. There are three types of columns in the world, and these columns are coming from Greece. And the ones that we have here are probably the most beautiful ones. The first column that we have is the Doric columns, then the honey columns, and the Corinthian one. The difference between them is that at the top of them, they have some art at the end. But there's like the most simple one, which is the Doric one, and then we have the middle, which is the Hunnic, and then the Corinthian is really, really artistic. So that's something that we can really see. So this church was actually built with a classic style, which is neoclassic in this case. As many of the buildings that we have in this country, they were built with that style. This one has actually the simple columns that I was just talking about, the Doric columns. So as we can see, they're not really artistic at the top. They're just basically just doing their function. But they were the first one that were basically created. They're a little bit different than the ones that we saw on the theater, because the ones that we saw on the theater were the last ones, and they're probably the most artistic ones. So I just want you guys to see that difference. Here we're in the central part of the city, so we have a big kiosk right there. So as we can see, it's probably one of the biggest ones that we have in the country. And these kiosks are built mostly to hang out, but if we have activities, then we can do it on the kiosks. Actually, on this park, the first attraction was a fountain, but then it was replaced for this kiosk. So right in front of me, we have the National Theater. This is probably the most expensive building in the city and the most important one as well. This one was built in 1892 and it was finished in 1897. It was also built with a classic style, and in the inside it has a lot of baroques, but this is probably the most fancy and luxury building that we have in the city. The thing is that in our history, the coffee, it's one of the most important things. And there was basically, we were looking for many products that we could hold our economy on that. And we tried with many things, with the chocolate and sugar cane, but coffee was the right one. So we started exporting coffee to Europe. And that created a great economy in Costa Rica. So that's why we consider the coffee as the mother of our economy. Actually, we call it the gold grain to the coffee grain because it gave us a lot of money. So the thing is that the people that was working with the coffee, they were making a lot of money, and they really wanted to get a place like this, a theater, which could be like very luxury and represent the country in many ways. So they basically put a lot of money to do this building, but a lot of things happened because it was like really expensive. So at the end, basically the citizens end up on paying for this building many years after even it was finished, and we were just paying with our taxes to finish this building. But at the end, we got it, and it's such a beautiful building. This theater is actually located right next to the Plaza La Cultura, which is this place. It's a place to just come here and hang out. And down this place, we have an underground theater, which is about gold. All the gold from the pre-Spanish, which is a beautiful museum if you ever want to come to see. So, right in front of the Plaza La Cultura, we have the Hotel Gran Costa Rica, which is a very important hotel in the country because this one was the very first hotel in the country, and it was built in 1930. So it's been here for a while, and that's why it is so important. So this building right behind me, it's such an important building in the country and in the city as well. So this building on the very beginning was a cuartel, and it was called Buena Vista Cuartel. So it was built in 1917, and it was built by the promotion of the president Alfredo González Flores, which was the president in that moment, and that was a president from Heredia City. So the thing is that in 1948, we had a revolution, and there was such a civil war here, and the main place where that happened was actually this cuartel. So after that civil war, the Costa Rican government basically decided to abolish the army. So since that moment, we have no army in this country. So the thing is, 1 year after, this building was declared as a museum. So it's been a museum since that moment. This place, before it was a museum, it was a jail as well in the inside. So it was a cuartel and a jail as well. So now all of that is just part of this museum that we have now. This building is located just right next to National Museum, and this one is the National Assembly. This is a pretty new building. This was just built in 2018, and it's the new building that we have for the government, basically. And right here we have a museum, another museum called Jade Museum, and this one has the biggest collection of jade in the world. And this is also a pretty new building. It was built, I guess, in 2014, and basically there is another company in Costa Rica that was taking a lot of this jade collection from people from all over the country, till they had so much that they had to finally build this building to have it as a place where they can show up all this jade. So here we have it, Jade Museum. guys, so this is where we finished. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you like it, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and give us a like.